is Zegi, or Zegasis, and yes, it is another brief car chronicle. And I've been doing a lot of reflection and a lot of introspection lately. And keep in mind, there is a drastic difference between rumination and reflection, so be mindful. But one of the messages that came through today in service was the thought of we must welcome the interruption. And when I think about a lot of my agency colleagues and agency friends who have had to endure an interruption, or some of the people that I am connected with who are managing loss and the interruption of that. So whether it is a loved one who has passed away or a loved one who has Alzheimer's, and so they don't remember you anymore, or a separation or a divorce. There's so many different interruptions that can occur in life. You lose a child, whether it's a miscarriage or your child is killed in an accident, or just loss in so many different forms, loss of autonomy. It's that interruption. And sometimes the interruption is not a bad thing. I've shared before with really, really close friends that the church that licensed and ordained me as a minister, I got messaging from the Holy Spirit. I knew God talked to me in my dream space and told me it's time for you to move. It's time for you to transition. It's time for you to shift. And at that point, I was at church, this particular church, 5 out of 7 days a week. So I was doing intercessory prayer at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was part of the praise and worship team. I was the youngest minister. And so we did so much. Part of the outreach ministry that we did, like sandwiches and food and like witness for those who are dealing with homelessness or unhoused. And I was doing so much, and I was so active in church and was excited about being there. And I knew it clear as day. I got the messaging, like, it's time for you to transition. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what do you mean I have to go? And sometimes God will put us in a situation where we're so uncomfortable that we have to move, we have to shift, we have to leave. Some things we can't continue to cleave to because it's stunting our growth. Sometimes because we're holding on so tightly to what we think we want, we are forgetting what we need. And so the interruption sometimes is good. The interruption sometimes causes us to leave a job that we were complacent or comfortable in for what we are really going after, or what our passion, our desires, our dreams are. Sometimes the interruption causes us to separate from a person who we love and are committed to, but that person is not healthy, and we're constantly translating our spirit to that person. Sometimes the interruption is the anointed blessing on our lives, which is absolutely and unequivocally necessary. Sometimes the interruption is the very thing that saves our lives, saves our sanity, saves what is within us, because some of us are high functioning. Some of us are managing dark thoughts, and some of us are managing feeling inconsequential, and the interruption is what saves our lives. So what I would say is, another thought that came in sermon today, came into service, is there's a message in the miracle. Instead of leaning into why is this happening, or why this occurred, why did this person leave me, why don't I have my autonomy anymore, find the lesson in it. What am I learning here? Because I promise you, the pain is going to birth purpose. You just have to be tuned in. You just have to lean in. So I love you so much. There's a message in the miracle. Welcome the interruption. Sometimes it's the very thing that saves your life. Sometimes it's the very catalyst to push you to your next level, push you to your next season, push you to the breakthrough. All right. I love you. Bye.